Hey there. So today I want to discuss credibility and validity in news stories. I'm going to run through the I'm vain test on some of the stories that I read about to discuss whether or not they meet each of the criteria in that. So for the first article I chose from New York Times, written by James McKinley Jr. in March of 2001, titled Vicious Assaults Shake Texas Town. So this is an independent journalist with no self-interest in the story, really. So it's not his information. He was reporting on things that he had found. He uses multiple sources. He uses the authorities, neighbors, a spokesman for the school district, a hospital worker, and even the affidavit that was filed. So there's no verification really of the facts since the information was only pulled from the records. He's asserting the information that he found. The article seems to be authoritative and informed. These could be considered credible sources, like authorities and things like that. The journalist did research to find the information. Although I feel that's one-sided. You don't see anywhere the other side of the story. It's mainly the side of the girl that was assaulted. But I do think he found enough sources to support that the story actually happened, that the situation did happen. But all the details and facts would need verifying, which could be difficult because this is an ongoing investigation, and also a lot of the people named or discussed were minors. So there were mainly named sources that he used in particular, but there were some neighbors that didn't want to be named or go on record. They were likely the residents that he talked about who were talking negatively about the victim, kind of saying that she was acting older than her age or inappropriate. So that's what I found on the first story. So for story number 2, I used Walmart announces the Great For You labeling initiative. This story was done by Walmart, so it's definitely of a self-interest. They're producing the video and promoting themselves here. There's only one source. Everyone, even in the video, was actually named to be part of Walmart, so there's no other information or opinions that were used. There aren't really any actual facts presented here or verified. They're asserting a point of view to persuade, not really credible. This is uninformed. There is talk about lowering sodium and sugar content in their foods, but there's no specific evidence or anything given. Everything is very generalized here. They mention consulting with food and nutrition experts, but no one is named. No one can verify. There isn't even a number of how much things were lowered or reduced. They didn't even show a picture of a label. They showed the logo branding for what they're using, but not the nutrition label to support anything that they said. And I'm kind of a researcher on food labels, so I found that very strange that they would just make a claim with no proof whatsoever in this video that anything was true. So I don't find their food claim to be true, that it's healthier, and I don't find enough credibility because there's no facts or verification here. So that was story 2. Story number 3 I chose was titled Manhunt for Boston Bombing Suspect Continues. This was a CBS News story dated April 2013. So this is an independent story, I feel, the reporter, where, as far as I know, the reporter had no self-interest or stake in this story. There are definitely multiple sources used here. There's comments directly from the Boston Commissioner, the Mass State Police, a doctor from Beth Israel Medical Center. There's even some amateur video footage and an interview from a bystander. The information is verified because it's actually coming directly from the source. They're relaying what they know and what has transpired as it's going on, up to date, by the minute information they were giving out. So this is informed information, I think. Again, it comes directly from the source, so even a statement that would be considered exaggerated that the reporter used, where he said an army of officers were piling out of an apartment. Later on in this news story, you actually see that going on behind him. Officers were filing out of an actual apartment one by one, and there was just so many that you see an army of people. Most of the sources are named because they even speak for themselves. Only the amateur video that they used that was kind of a shot of some gunfire in the background was like unnamed, and they say that it's amateur video. They don't say who it's from. So I find this story to be very credible, as it's coming. It is coming from what I would be considering a good source, the authorities, and it's as verified as it can be in that moment. So that's what I found for story number 3. So thanks for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed my going behind the news validity and credibility test with the I'm Vain test to evaluate news stories, to see what you're reading and know if you're reading good stuff, real news, or just a bunch of junk. So they used that I'm Vain test, which was, are they independent? Did they use multiple sources? Did they verify their information? Did they use authoritative information and informed? And did they name their sources? So all that stuff helps you know what you're reading and understand the news a little better and the information that you're getting. So hope you enjoyed. Thank you.